If you haven't noticed by now, one thing that makes me hate a boss is wasted potential. I hate when a boss has a lot going for it or has a brilliant setup, but ends up being far less than it could have been. So yeah, Jafar is one of the worst of those bosses. Despite this being an aerial battle on the magic carpet fighting an evil power-crazy genie in the skies of Agrabah, it still manages to commit the mortal sin of being boring. Instead of utilizing his phenomenal cosmic powers. What is his main attack? Spinning.
Oh, good job, Mr. Namra. Spinning genie. Your imagination's on fire. Oh, look out, everyone. It's the next Miyazaki.
Speaking of which, let's talk about that reaction command. In Kingdom Hearts 2, we get some very flashy counters to bosses' attacks, which help make the battles easier and really just exist to make the game look cooler. Jafar's reaction command, you grab his tail and spin him around to make him dizzy. Let me repeat that. We beat the genie by making him dizzy. There's also that invincibility move, which would have been intimidating if it weren't as easy to dodge as just flying in a circle. And after he loses a bit of health, he decides to up the annoying by shooting long streams of fireballs and lightning at you, which are almost impossible to dodge, and if they hit you once, they refuse to let you move. Then he'll do the invincibility move again if you don't immediately stun him by attacking the torso again. While the fight with him lasts only about 4 or 5 minutes depending on your skill level, it feels like an eternity. We are fighting a genie, a creature with the power of bending reality at his fingertips, and he utilizes none of this potential. This is another thing that bugged me in the fight with the genie Jafar in the first game. Instead of utilizing the full extent of his newly acquired genie powers, all he did was throw blocks of lava at you. But I suppose no one folds his arms quite like he does. Long and boring battle is long and boring. The ruler of the sky, oh gosh, can that sound any more pretentious, combines many things that make a terrible hack and slash boss. Repetitive battle? Check. Homing attacks that are almost impossible to dodge? Check. Minimal hitting things and more movement? Check. The ruler of the sky is... Okay, I can't take it anymore. The music in 358 over 2 days is awful. I'm changing it. Ah, much better. If you look at most battles in Kingdom Hearts, they usually don't take more than 5 minutes. Avion Wannabe here's battle lasts almost double that time and feels a lot longer, not due to the boss being challenging, but due to the boss being annoying. Most of this boss fight amounts to you just chasing this freaking coward. And due to 358 over 2 days overly simple combat, you can't do much damage to him once you finally catch him. There's not much else I could say about this guy because his flaw can be fixed in 4 words. Less chasey, more smashy! One thing I always look forward to in each Kingdom Hearts game is the final boss. Ansem, though a slightly absurd design, was fair challenge and gave good closure. Marluxia, who really puts your quick thinking and strategy abilities to the test. Xemnas, who made it into the top 6 of the Chaos Theater's greatest boss battles ever. And even the final battles of Birth by Sleep, whose dramatic setups make them seem more at home in the finale of a Star Wars film. So yeah, young Xehanort in Dream Drop Distance has no excuse to be comparatively terrible. Let's count the ways this boss frustrates the player of a hack and slash game. Make the boss only flinch when it feels like it? Uh-huh. Make the boss have a poorly telegraphed potential insta-death move? Uh-huh. Make the boss have an arsenal of moves that are difficult to dodge, next to impossible to break out of, prevent effective counterattacks, and eventually delivering your emo carcass on a silver platter? Uh-huh. Oh, and it gets worse. If you actually manage to bring his health down to 0, he seals himself in a clock which you have to destroy with a dive attack. If you're not exact with the timing of your combo beforehand, he will rewind the battle and gain back 1/3 of his health. If you do happen to destroy the clock, the battle is still not over. You're under a time limit to destroy young Xehanort's true form.
Not quoting the meme.
Where you have to permanently destroy the clock. And the fight with the clock isn't too great either because his clones will bum rush you with near unavoidable attacks and prevent you from getting close, assuming they don't kill you, which they can easily do. This is all made even worse due to Dream Drop Distance's stupid ability link system, which forces you to play Pet Simulator in order to get some decent abilities, including Leaf Bracer. This is by far one of the most frustrating final bosses I've faced, no alliteration intended. With its absurd difficulty and patience-trying gimmicks, it's one of those battles that has potential to last forever. Come on, I'm almost got him. Wait, what? No! Oh, look, we gotta talk about 358 over 2 days again. I don't like this game. I really don't. The story was stupid and pointless, the gameplay lacked any sort of depth, the investigation missions were dumb, and it houses one of the worst designed boss rushes in existence. In Mission 89, you have to destroy 6 bosses, some of which are uninspired enough to be smaller, heartless, made bigger, and with more health. Once you destroy all of them, the 100% mission completion option appears. And me being that guy, I want to complete every mission perfectly, so I search around and find number 2 on our list, Dust Flyer. The first thing that sucks about this boss is that you fight him after you go through a boss rush, so you're more than likely not going to face this guy at your freshest. In other Kingdom Hearts games, usually you can customize your abilities beforehand to better counter everything that a boss can throw at you. Not for this guy! You have to customize your arsenal to prepare for the previous 6 and Dust Flyer. This guy isn't easy either. Never mind the fact that this guy has a crap ton of health that would make Yzmat proud, and fighting him is slightly more fun than listening to Donald Duck's singing voice. This guy has very punishing attacks, including one that halves your health and another that sets you on fire. He also has a poorly telegraphed shockwave attack and has moves that you have to watch out for. So it isn't too much of a stretch to say you'll likely die. And what happens then? You have to fight through every single boss again before you fight Dust Flyer. Fuck this boss. You know, I kind of enjoyed Dream Drop Distance. For one, the flow motion combat system is something that's really fun to toy around with, the story made me appreciate Sora and Riku's friendship a lot more, and I will love Tetsuya Nomura forever for the magnificent Fantasia level. That being said, the story is just as gag-inducing and needlessly complex as ever, the Tamagotchi system was horrible, and I will never forgive Tetsuya Nomura for Goyle! Goyle is the Dream Eater final boss of the Hunchback of Notre Dame world, summoned by resident religious a-hole Frollo. And that's the first problem with this boss. We're not fighting Frollo. We got to fight Maleficent, we got to fight Oogie Boogie, we even got to fight Clayton. And really, who gives a fuck about Clayton? Frollo is considered to be one of Disney's darkest and greatest villains for his complex characterization and his unique motivations. So to have a random monster be his replacement, which I should probably point out looks positively stupid, is incredibly disappointing to say the least. You want a symbolic Hellfire Angel? Nope. How about a rainbow candy fruit bat? This is the first time Hunchback of Notre Dame has been represented in a Kingdom Hearts game, so you can imagine players' excitement to try it out as soon as possible. Sure, there was a Tron world and a Pinocchio world available at the start, but both those movies had representation in previous installments. So I believe it's safe to say most players' inclination was to try out the fresh new world of Hunchback as soon as possible. And boy, did the designers not even try. Understandably, the entire plot of the original movie was simplified and censored due to Hunchback's large amount of religious symbolism. But in doing so, it fails to hit any of the points that made the original movie so great in the first place, and what we get is something half-baked and shockingly subpar. Instead of Frollo lusting after Esmeralda and despising the gypsies for perverted religious reasons, his motivations were oversimplified to just hating gypsies because he's an asshole. Notice I haven't even gotten to the actual boss fight. This is one of the first fights in the game, so you likely don't have a lot of great stuff equipped in your action deck. That means in order to do some actual freaking damage, the battle is likely going to move towards the wall so you can get some stronger flow motion combos and moves in, which will eventually screw you over. During flow motion attacks, you're not invincible, and bigger enemies don't get stunned. So while you're pulling off these flashy moves, you're leaving yourself wide open for punishment. Goyle's attacks have a ridiculous range, which wouldn't be too much of a problem, except this is a hack and slash requiring you to get up close and nasty. Like most other bosses in Dream Drop Distance, Goyle's attack telegraphs are very quick, so you will likely get pummeled before you can blink. He also attacks in quick succession, pelting you with punch after punch, and this early in the game, you don't have any counter moves. So if he catches you in a corner, you'll just have to sit there and take it until you're dead. And there's more. In a later boss rush, one of the bosses you have to fight is, you guessed it, Goyle. And with the tiny stage you have to fight him in, there's an even higher chance you'll be pushed into a corner and be beaten to death. Oh, and the music's boring. This is the prime example of how not to do a hack and slash boss. It combines uninspired conception, wasted potential, silly design, mediocre music, punishing difficulty spike, counterintuitive combat design, and the fact you have to fight it 3 times!
I'm the fiery Joker. And please, Disney, for the love of all that is good, let Nomura put Star Wars into Kingdom Hearts 3. And Marvel, if that's not too much trouble, okay, thanks, bye.
Let's do this. Leroy!